guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Mouse, and today we're breaking down the top games heavily inspired by PT. If you're an avid horror fan, or even if you just know about Silent Hill in general, you probably have heard of the PT teaser that unfortunately was ripped from our grasp a few years ago, and now nobody can play it. It was hallmarked as one of the scariest games ever made, and quite possibly it is one of the scariest games ever made. Definitely, if they did release a full game, it would be extremely popular. So these games are heavily inspired by PT, and they're definitely worth checking out. Now, starting off this list, we have a game called Train 113. Unfortunately, it is on Steam, but you cannot download it right now. There are a couple playthroughs on YouTube you can watch, but for right now, it isn't available. Now, this game is very short, about 10 minutes. You basically play as a passenger who wakes up on a train and realizes that he's not alone on this train, even though it seems like nobody's on the train. But Train 113 does seem to be inspired by PT, and so I did want to include it on this list. Alright, number 2 on our list, we have a game called Reminiscence. Now, this game does something different that PT didn't have, and it's this time traveling aspect. So you play as a man who's trying to find out what happened to his family, and he can travel between 2 different time periods. And so he goes back and forth between the two. You're not sure how he has the ability to time travel. It doesn't really go into depth, but you know something terrible has happened to his family. And so he does go back and forth between the two timelines and try and figure out what's exactly going on. Now, this game is actually a steal. It is free on Steam. And from what I've seen on some playthroughs, it does look like a very creepy game. And definitely, if it's free, it's definitely worth a shot. Now, up next, we have a game called Mannequin House, and if you have heard of this game, then you've probably seen Markiplier play it on YouTube. It was a pretty popular playthrough. You're in a house trapped with a bunch of mannequins that keep moving. It's a pretty simple concept. There's not any backstory really whatsoever. It's only $1.99, so it's definitely worth a little scare if you got 30 minutes and you're looking for something fun to play. Alright, and number 4 on our list, we have a game called Implements of Hell. So this game is a little bit on the longer side. It's about 40 minutes long. I've watched a few playthroughs of this game, and it definitely looks heavily inspired by PT. You have the long hallways, you have the looping aspect, creepy atmosphere, it's set in basically a home. You're playing as a man, and you find out what happened to his wife. She is kind of the main enemy in this game, and you're playing as him. So it's kind of a more slow-paced game. It's definitely creepy. It is $6.99, so it's not super expensive. It is a little bit of a longer game, so if you like the PT style, I would definitely check this game out. Alright, so moving on to number 5, we have a game called Precipice. So this is a French-style horror game heavily inspired by PT, and as you can see, I'm kind of going through less inspired to more inspired, and this one is very inspired by PT. So it's about a man, and it's kind of his descent into madness, basically. It is free to play on GameJolt.com, so you can go give some money to the devs if you want, or you can play it for free. Definitely worth it. It's not a very long game. It's only about 30 to 40 minutes, but it's decent. So definitely check this out. And last but not least, we have the number 1 game inspired by PT. It's called Evil Inside. So if you haven't played this game, this is a first-person psychological horror game. I played this game on my Nintendo Switch, and it is available on the Switch still. I definitely recommend it. It's not super long, and it's only about 45 to 50 minutes. It is on the more expensive side as far as all these games go. It is $12.99 on Steam, but it is a little bit of a longer game. I do think the price is a little bit much for it only being like less than an hour, but it's definitely creepy. Playing as a man who his mother has passed away and his dad has actually been arrested for it. So he tries to contact his mother throughout the story, and they're trying to kind of learn what happened to his mom. But I definitely really enjoyed this game. Heavily inspired by PT, a lot of the same mechanics of it, same kind of scares, but it does it in a different way. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely a unique experience, very heavily inspired by PT. So if you have the money and the time, I would definitely go check this out. Alright, so that is my list of the top games inspired by PT. And anyways, I thank you so much for checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!